Yeah. There we go. That's it.
It's like moving nuts.
Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven come face to face in a heated airport confrontation, where tensions instantly rise. The argument escalates quickly as Oleksandr Usyk stands firm and warns Rico that in the ring he will set an example and show the real difference in levels and respect.
I'm hungry. I need a champion's meal.
After the airport confrontation, Oleksandr Usyk's warning turns even more intense as he directly tells Rico Verhoeven that any disrespect will be answered inside the ring. The situation escalates from words to a serious threat, showing how personal the tension has become between both champions.
50% is motivation, 50% I look what do this guy, like a move, punch, defense, you know, what coach say these guys, hey, you must step back and punch, but step front. Yeah, for me it's 50-50, and sometimes it's like a teacher, sometimes it's like a motivation, because you know you look and you have energy, you do it more. It's same work, but sometimes we change sparring partner, but. We not drink, we not smoke, we rest, we boxing. Yeah, it's a normal, because it's a boxing fight. Yeah. We look for guys who same do it work like Rico, but my prepare not change. My prepare hard, but listen, I told like this. Today evening, my second training, yeah, it's a hard training. Oof, it's but now I hear I not do it. You know, today I have rest day, but I know when I back in my training camp, Kuba.
Oleksandr Usyk completely shuts down the pressure talk after the heated airport incident with Rico Verhoeven. He makes it clear that for him this is just another fight, staying calm and focused despite all the disrespect claims and tension building around the confrontation.
No, it's not pressure for me. Listen, it's just fight. It's a boxing fight. It's a normal. I prepare for this fight. Everything okay.
Johnny Nelson highlights Oleksandr Usyk's complete dominance over the heavyweight division, stating he has wiped out every major challenge in front of him. He shifts focus to the business side, suggesting that despite greatness, financial megafights are limited, making every new challenge even more important.
Alexander, what he's done, he's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him, so he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business for him.
Rico Verhoeven talks with full confidence about his calculated style and heavy punching power, explaining how his evolution into using hands more makes him even more dangerous. His tone reflects confidence after the heated build-up with Oleksandr Usyk.
I'm always like very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing. But now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited.
Fabio Wardley questions the level of opposition involved, suggesting that Oleksandr Usyk should ideally face active, high-level boxers. While he respects Usyk's right to choose, he still implies that true elite status comes from fighting top professional boxing contenders.
And he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Verhoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elites.
Eddie Hearn gives a more concerned view, pointing out that despite any issues, the fighter still carries dangerous attributes. His comments shift the focus from hype to the human side, suggesting there are deeper concerns beyond the fight itself.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain. You know, I've got to be honest with you. Like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't.
Dave Allen dismisses the idea of Rico Verhoeven stepping into elite boxing territory against Oleksandr Usyk, despite respecting his kickboxing greatness. He clearly separates both sports, saying Rico's experience does not translate into facing the best heavyweight in the world. In his view, even if Rico can box at a basic level, it does not justify a clash with someone operating at Oleksandr Usyk's level. The tone here reflects a strong belief that this kind of matchup is fundamentally a mismatch, where experience, timing, and elite boxing IQ would heavily favor Usyk. It also reinforces the ongoing debate around crossover fights, especially when an undisputed level boxer like Oleksandr Usyk is involved in such heated discussions.
But I'm not interested in... I like Rico Verhoeven, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight... Can
he box?
Yeah, he can box, he's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple fact it's him.
Paul Smith questions the fairness of Rico Verhoeven getting linked to Oleksandr Usyk when there are established contenders waiting their turn. He highlights frustration from ranked fighters who feel bypassed, especially in a division where opportunities are limited. However, he also acknowledges Oleksandr Usyk's achievements, suggesting that after dominating elite competition, he has earned the right to choose his own path. This creates a clear divide between traditional boxing structure and modern crossover entertainment. The discussion ultimately circles back to Oleksandr Usyk's unique position in boxing, where his achievements give him freedom that most fighters do not have, even if it creates controversy among contenders.
A kickboxer for a long time and not really done much in boxing at all to warrant a shot at Oleksandr Usyk when there's a queue so big. And
Indeed.
You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter that argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easier one after one.
Peter Fury confirms mutual interest between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven, suggesting that both men are open to the idea of facing each other. He describes them as ultimate fighting men, emphasizing their competitive nature and willingness to take on challenges. This adds serious weight to the growing speculation around a potential clash. When fighters at this level both show interest, it instantly becomes a major talking point in combat sports. Oleksandr Usyk's name continues to dominate these discussions, proving how his status at the top of boxing attracts attention even from outside disciplines, making every mention of his next move globally significant.
You know, Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Oleksandr Usyk's manager Aegis Klimas provides a calm update on camp, confirming that preparations are going smoothly and the training phase is reaching its final stage. Everything appears controlled and on schedule, showing no disruption despite the outside noise involving Rico Verhoeven. The focus remains purely on preparation and structure, highlighting Oleksandr Usyk's disciplined approach to every fight. While speculation and confrontation headlines continue to grow, internally the camp remains stable and professional. This reinforces the image of Oleksandr Usyk as a fighter who stays locked in regardless of media drama or external pressure, always prioritizing execution over emotion.
Doing very well. His preparation is already coming down in the very end, and soon as gonna be back home in a week or so. Yeah, about in a week, maybe 10 days. We're going to Australia. Looks kind of bumped up, but he looks in a very good shape. I saw his sparrings. I'm not gonna talk about the sparrings, but I saw what's happening in the sparrings, and
Ade Oladipo puts heavy respect on Rico Verhoeven's kickboxing legacy, describing his rise from Prince of Kickboxing to King of Kickboxing. He clearly acknowledges Rico's dominance in his own sport and the experience he brings into this crossover conversation. However, when placed next to Oleksandr Usyk, the context shifts completely. Usyk is not just another opponent. He is an undisputed boxing champion who has beaten the very best in heavyweight boxing. That contrast is what makes the situation so interesting, because skill in kickboxing does not automatically translate into elite boxing success. The discussion naturally circles back to whether Rico's hands and experience can truly handle the level, timing and ring IQ of Oleksandr Usyk, who has already proven himself against world champions in boxing.
Oleksandr Usyk steps in and will take on one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. I'm actually quite a big kickboxing fan, so I know quite a lot about him. I've watched a few of his fights over the years. They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, and then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands. I can't lie to you. It's funny, yeah?
Rico Verhoeven openly respects Oleksandr Usyk by comparing him to his own dominance in kickboxing, admitting that Usyk has ruled boxing in similar fashion. This shows genuine recognition of Usyk's level and consistency at the top. At the same time, Rico frames it as a challenge, suggesting that facing or beating someone like Usyk would be the ultimate achievement. That mindset adds fuel to the tension, especially after their heated exchanges. But the reality remains that Oleksandr Usyk has already proven himself against elite heavyweight champions in boxing, while Rico is still being evaluated in that specific rule set. This is why the conversation continues to grow, because it is not just about respect, it is about whether that respect can survive inside a professional boxing ring.
Oleksandr Usyk is the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
Liam Goff strongly criticizes the idea of Rico Verhoeven entering a WBC heavyweight title scenario, calling it a gimmick and questioning the legitimacy of such a matchup. He highlights the lack of professional boxing experience at elite level compared to traditional contenders. Despite the criticism, Oleksandr Usyk remains central to the conversation because of his status as the world #1 heavyweight. This is exactly why every debate keeps circling back to him, since he is the benchmark of the division. Even when people question matchmaking, it is Usyk's name that defines the standard. His dominance is what creates both controversy and curiosity, making every potential opponent discussion revolve around whether they are truly worthy of sharing the ring with him.
About as a professional boxer, you go, so how can he jump the queue and box Oleksandr Usyk for the WBC title? To me, that doesn't make any sense at all, and I think it makes a mockery again of the WBC allowing that to happen. So
they must
let's hope there's some sort of diamond belt.
Someone's pulling their chain, and someone's directing them down that way and making it worth their while for doing this. So obviously licensing fees, but there must be a commercial value in this. I don't know what the cost fertilization is. I can't look at it and go, well, there's a natural fit here. This is a very profiled personality that's got lots of followers around the world.
Simon Jordan focuses on the business and strategy side of Oleksandr Usyk's situation, suggesting that nothing around him happens without strong motivation and planning. He implies that crossover discussions and high-profile matchups are not random but calculated moves in modern boxing. Usyk's position at the top of the sport means every decision he makes carries commercial and competitive weight. This is why his name continues to dominate conversations involving different combat disciplines. After defeating elite heavyweights, his presence has become a global attraction point, making him central to crossover narratives. The discussion reflects how Oleksandr Usyk is not just seen as a fighter anymore, but as a key figure shaping the direction and business of modern heavyweight boxing.
Usyk on BoxRec is ranked as the world #1 heavyweight, rightly so. There's Ajay Kabayel underneath him, his mandatory challenger who's shown how big a name he is in Germany. Not going to say US there, in Germany. There's Fabio Wardley, WBO champion, another cracker.
Oleksandr Usyk acknowledges the danger of Rico Verhoeven while still keeping full focus on his own preparation. He clearly respects Rico's status as an undisputed kickboxing champion and recognizes the physical challenge he brings. However, Usyk separates entertainment from competition, making it clear that for him this is not a show but a serious fight. That mindset is what defines him at elite level, where every opponent is treated with full discipline and preparation. Despite the crossover hype, Usyk remains locked into his boxing mentality, showing why he has been able to dominate the heavyweight division. His focus, calmness, and seriousness are exactly what make him one of the most dangerous and consistent champions in combat sports today.
It's big, it's real fight. It's a dangerous guy. Yeah, it's a undisputed champion for kickboxing. Yeah, it's a big guy, like a hard. But this is 50% show, 50% fight. But for me, it's 100% fight, because I very serious in the training, my plan.
This entire situation now centers on Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven turning a simple rivalry into a full combat sports debate after their heated airport confrontation and public warnings. Oleksandr Usyk stays calm, focused, and confident, treating everything as serious preparation for a real fight, while Rico Verhoeven brings size, power, and kickboxing dominance into the conversation, believing he can challenge anyone. If Oleksandr Usyk wins, it only strengthens his legacy as an undisputed champion who handles every style. If Rico shocks the world, it becomes a massive upset in combat sports history. The question now is simple: who truly dominates under real pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the debate.